And bowing out of the Senate after 3 terms adjudged as impactful. Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, says Nigerians must look to the future with new hope, ready to match their expectations with necessary sacrifice. She was speaking at a valedictory session of the 9th Senate. Adeni Taiwo reports.
It is the end of the 9th Senate, and this valedictory session, organized in keeping with tradition, presents this set of lawmakers a final opportunity to take stock and do some backslapping. A prominent member, having served in the Red Chamber from the 7th Assembly in 2011 to the 9th, Nigeria's First Lady, Senator Oluremi Tinubu, joins the session, her last as a senator. As one of the few women lawmakers at the upper chamber, Senator Oluremi Tinubu has proved a mettle, working alongside her colleagues to enact laws which have now become the legacies of the 9th Assembly. Among others, she is credited with sponsoring about 8 bills, 3 of which have now become Acts of Parliament, while co-sponsoring a number of others. She was chairperson, Senate Committee on Communications during the 9th Assembly, while she headed Senate Standing Committees on Women Affairs and the Environment at different times during the 8th Assembly.
Over the years, we've made friends.
Describing her terms at the Senate as a privilege that comes with a lot of sacrifice, the First Lady, in her valedictory remark, notes that the renewed hope promised by the new administration will become a reality with the genuine input of all Nigerians.
In this room, we have the entire Nigerians being represented. And we were able to forge ahead. We're able to come together when we need to come together to make, very good decision for this nation. And we did that as good elder statesmen and women.
Having produced key members of the current executives, the 9th Assembly, the First Lady notes, has contributed a lot to the new administration, thereby becoming a good stepping stone for the 10th Senate.
Anyone who doesn't have hope, you can't really move ahead. This new administration beckons that, and we have to make the necessary sacrifice, which starts with the new 10th Assembly. For me, as a woman of faith, I believe is double grace. Number 10 will give us double grace.
For their contributions, the First Lady and her colleagues were presented Certificate of Service and Legacy Report by the Senate President.
Like a clockwork, 12 years of service at the Senate have gone by for Senator Oluremi Tinubu. And the consensus here is that those years have been impactful to the benefit of our primary constituency, talking about Lagos Central Senatorial District, and of course, the nation at large. A higher calling now beckons, and that is to be the mother of all as the First Lady of Nigeria. From the National Assembly, Adeni Taiwo, NTA News.
The resolve to keep the bond of sisterhood in supporting women issues for national development has been made by Senators' Wives Forum. Reina Obas reports that a dinner to mark the valedictory session of the 9th Senate in Abuja provided that opportunity for the forum to take stock on activities and to further push for women issues to the front burner.
It was a night of mixed feelings for the 9th Senators' wives as they gathered here to pat each other at the back for playing supportive roles to their husbands who are senators of the 9th Assembly. Some of the women here will, however, remain in the forum as their spouses have been re-elected to the 10th Assembly. The chairman of the forum, Dr. Halima Alfagaya, commended the members for being good followers, stating that the forum has brought women together, inspiring many to work hard and alive to their responsibilities as mothers.
The incoming tenure is indeed very fortunate to have a gender-friendly and responsive leadership as the one of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and his vice.
For other members of the forum, it was a moment of joy for their position as wives left them with huge responsibilities to always bridge the gap in engagements and interactions with constituents.
Because not everyone is coming back, it's also a joyful one that we've made friendship and we've become sisters along the line.
The 8th Assembly wasn't as colorful as this. The love is there, the commitment is there. We are always at each other's back.
I'm happy that It was a fruitful 4 years in sound health, in happiness, in joy.
The women used the opportunity to dine and wine together, as it is the first time the forum is being led by elective members. In Abuja, Rina Obasi, NTA News.
Now, Confederation of All Progressives Congress support groups have assured Nigerians of good governance under the current administration. This was at a stakeholders meeting ahead of the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly in Abuja. Salihu Gwanara reports.
As the days trickle down to hours for the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly on June 13th, the Confederation of All Progressives Congress support groups, in a crucial stakeholder engagement, appealed to the senators-elect of the 10th National Assembly to perform their first task of legislative duty by bringing forward leaders that will key into the planned reforms of the new administration to sustain and promote democratic gains and accelerate the development initiative being proposed.
We are all Nigerians. We are not against our southern brothers and sisters, but fairness and equity must come to play. We will do our best through the confederation of all ABC groups and outside to make sure that Nigerian youth get jobs, they are properly engaged, they are properly educated.
And now the next assignment for us at the Confederation is to make sure that the Senate, the National Assembly, is being overwhelmed by Democrats.
That will pass laws that will help the president navigate and enshrine his purposeful adventures.
The group wants stakeholders, particularly members of the 10th National Assembly, to uphold a cordial executive-legislative relationship. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi Gwanara, NTA News.
In a bid to foster social cohesion and national unity, the Arewa New Agenda has called upon the newly elected senators and members of the House of Representatives to use the election of their principal officers as a platform to demonstrate their commitments to peace building. The group emphasizes the need for balanced inclusion that encompasses the diverse nature of Nigeria, transcending tribal and religious boundaries.
It is therefore critical to reduce the usual acrimony that characterizes struggle for power among the geopolitical zones in a manner that will reduce unnecessary distractions and foster a peaceful and smooth takeoff of the new dispensation under President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. Anna notes that this is the time for national reconciliation, and in the spirit of our greater tomorrow, all parties involved in bringing about the leadership of the new dispensation need to join hands to usher in a new dawn in the country on the inauguration of the 10th National Assembly.
Highlighting the significance of these crucial moments in Nigeria, the Arewa New Agenda also calls on the elected parliamentarians to prioritize unity and understanding. The group further urges all well-meaning Nigerians to extend their support to President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and Vice President Kashim Shettima as they undertake the challenging task of propelling the nation forward. Diola has more updates from the Center of Excellence. It's over to you, Diola.
With gender-based violence taking the lead in crime analysis in Lagos State, establishment of a gender unit in the police force and training of officers to mitigate the impact of these anomalies will guarantee public order in the state. Joel Popola reports that this synergy with non-governmental organizations and motivation of officers through promotion and other incentives are parts of the reforms to ensure efficiency in the police.
The Nigerian police is not oblivious of the threat posed by domestic and gender-based violence, which has assumed a worrisome dimension. Hence, the Lagos State Police has expanded its structure to encompass gender units. To ensure a smooth running of the unit, the Lagos State Police Command is partnering relevant stakeholders to prepare those who are to be deployed to the unit with adequate knowledge of the enormity of the task ahead. to ensure the mandate of bringing down the unwanted statistics of gender-based violence is achieved. Commissioner of Police in charge of Lagos, Idowu Owonwa, noted that as first responders to incidents of domestic violence, there is need to enhance the professional capacity of officers and men.
Our dream is to make Lagos State Police Command the lead across all other commands in this country in our ability, in our capacity, in our knowledge. We are confident we will complete the restructuring of the center we are going to use in anticipation of the commencement of operations of our gender unit there.
For Titilola Vaivo Adeniyi, Executive Secretary of Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency, the partnership with the police will help the states gain a lot of mileage towards ending gender-based violence and other related crimes.
So we expect that at the end of this initiative, we would have enhanced service delivery from the police personnel, we would have improved evidence gathering, we would have facts that will be critical for ensuring prosecution of these cases.
Newly promoted officers expected to carry out critical reforms in the police were unveiled and decorated with a charge to think outside the box for better policing of the state. In Lagos, Joel Mukbola, NTA News.
The ship of a new administration is already sailing with attention fixed on a smooth ride. There are many obstacles to be surmounted, and chief among which is unemployment. In this report, Hingino John Adams takes a look at how President Bola Tinubu intends to create jobs for the youths.
Projections reveal that Nigeria's unemployment rate is expected to rise from 37.7% in 2022 to about 41% in 2023. This growing figure is worrisome, and President Bola Tinubu's attention is fixed on it, as he promised in his inaugural speech to create meaningful opportunities for youths and 1 million new jobs in the digital economy space. Experts believe that this is a step in the right direction.
We must take advantage of the teeming population of young people that we have, provide the right infrastructure support, finance support, whatever support they need for them to play well in that tech space.
What we just need is the right policy environment to be able to unlock all these opportunities. And that is what he has said.
They also commended the president's promise of working with the National Assembly to fashion an omnibus jobs and prosperity bill, which will give government the policy space to embark on labor-intensive infrastructural improvements, encourage light industry, and provide improved social services for the poor, elderly, and vulnerable.
Now that we have removed subsidy, in the next budget, allocation will now be directed into productive activity. Say health sector. If you create more health centers in different states, across the 36 states of the and in Abuja, you are going to generate a lot of employment.
With the right tactics of resolving unemployment, Nigerians are hopeful that the country will navigate through the stormy weather, thereby resulting in the creation of more jobs. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
And those are the stories making the rounds in Lagos at this time. We will take a break, and Nationwide will continue with Lami in Abuja when we return. But be reminded that you can still follow this broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on the screen for updates. To stay with us.
The act that set up NSCC has a very optimistic perception of aging.
In appreciation of support from its development partners, this luncheon is being organized for its media partners in recognition of their efforts towards projecting the activities of the center, of meeting the needs of older persons across the country. The Nigerian Television Authority was awarded for its outstanding contributions and support in ensuring that policies that affects older persons are disseminated effectively. Responding on behalf of NTA, the Director General, Abdulhamid Dambas, who was represented by the Deputy Director News, appreciated the center for the honor.
NTA always supports whatever it is that is going to be
benefits to Nigeria. We feel we should support it, nurture it so that Nigerians, especially the senior citizens who have done a lot, who have put in all their productive years to serve Nigeria.
In just 2 years, it's amazing how much awareness has been created and how people are now getting to know those issues regarding older persons.
It's a very good initiative, and it will go a long way in extending the value of life in Nigeria.
I can only appeal is for the new president and all the new state governors. They need to round up and support this program.
I'm also looking forward to strengthening partnerships with the MDAs, because there are many programs we can roll out by ourselves. We want to see this these sector-wide partnerships really thrive, and that's the way we can really get quality help, multi-sectoral help to our senior citizens at Abuja.
Beyond the merriment, more is expected from the fourth estate of the RAM to enable the centre's sustained efforts in building the capacities of older persons to achieve the National Plan of Action for Aging. In Abuja, Ruth Aguwele, NTA News.
To strengthen Nigeria's democracy and the bond of national unity, stakeholders believe that both the government and citizens must be intentional in taking steps towards national cohesion and integration. Susan Eze reports on the views of some residents of Enugu on the way forward in this new democratic dispensation.
To achieve economic growth and prosperity in this new dispensation, stakeholders call for continued sustenance of the principles of true federalism as a catalyst for national unity.
We are telling Nigerians to be supportive of any government. When you are not supporting any government in power, you are just bringing in disunity, division. Nothing thrives. Nobody benefits from it. So it's another opportunity to make a change, fresh hands, fresh heads to bring better ideas for national development.
The insecurity in the nation, if handled with care and subdued, I think there will be way forward in the economic development of this nation.
With unity, we are thicker. With unity, we are stronger. The diversity we have is the beauty of our togetherness. What we have that are different and bring them together, it makes us better as one Nigeria.
To tackle the myriad of challenges facing the country today, respondents believe that embracing unity through religious and ethnic tolerance is the logical remedy and path to national peace and progress. In Enugu, Susan Eze, NTA News.
Now, the National Salaries, Incomes and Wages Commission is notifying the public that the drafting of the national pay policy as approved by the Presidential Committee on Salaries is still ongoing. The commission, in a statement issued by the head press unit, Emmanuel Njoku, says it deemed it necessary to notify the public following a newspaper publication on the 8th of June 2023 stating that the federal government has already designed a national pay policy. The statement explains that the writer took the statements of the chairman of the commission, Ekpo Nta, at a workshop for salary inspectors held on the 4th of April 2023 for the execution of Phase 2 of the 2022 salary inspection of selected ministries, departments and agencies out of context. It emphasized that the chairman as the training only itemized some of the plans and activities of the commission, like monitoring of the implementation of the national minimum wage, the review of the national minimum wage coming up next year, 2024, and the drafting of a national pay policy. Pipe-borne water supply has resumed in Gusau, Zamfara State capital after a long period of interruption. Jamilu Ibrahim reports that a cross-section of residents expressed joy over the developments and hoped it would be sustained.
That had been the situation at the headquarters of the Zamfara State Water Board, Gusau, which was always agog with the residents, particularly children, struggling to fetch the water. This was as a result of non-supply of the pipe-borne water in the town for more than 3 weeks. The painful situation, which among other things resulted in the loss of some children who tried to cross the Gusau River searching for the water, now seems to be over, as the water supply has eventually resumed across the town.
I am overjoyous over the resumption of water supply in my area, as I was struggling to get the water. We were actually subjected to untold hardship as a result of the prolonged shortage of water in the town. We are very happy with the resumption of the water supply. May Allah assist the new governor.
Governor Dauda Lawal had inspected the Gusau Dam and the Zamfara State Water Board headquarters Gusau barely 24 hours after taking the mantle of leadership, where he was briefed by the relevant officials on factors responsible for the perennial water shortage in the town.
Definitely the main essence of coming here is to make sure we have a positive solution to the problem. So, like I said, we've seen it and we'll sit down and do the right thing.
The resumption of the water supply in Gusau and environs, Zamfara State government says, followed some urgent and temporary measures put in place as lasting solution to the protracted problem is being worked out. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Now, the National Agency for the Prohibition of Trafficking in Persons, NAPTIP, in collaboration with the International Center for Migration on Policy Development, ICMPD, have conducted a free medical outreach for victims of human trafficking in Katsina State. The medical program targeted 80 victims under shelter rehabilitation and counseling of the agency. Awal Halliru has the details.
The one-day medical program was aimed at ensuring that victims of human trafficking have access to medical needs while undergoing rehabilitation at the shelter for healthcare services. This was part of the rehabilitation and integration process of the victims, and one of the programs NAPTIP is collaborating with the International Center for Migration and Policy Development.
The issue of human trafficking is very dear to our heart, and she's all out to ensure that the victims get all they deserve as human beings and their rights being protected.
We have volunteers from the Nigerian Medical Association to be able to examine them, have an on-spot examination. It's critical to ensuring that their well-being, they're in a safe and a mental state of heart.
The agency in Katsina State has recorded success in rescuing victims of human trafficking.
Almost convicted 10 traffickers as of last year. And then, alhamdulillah, this year we rescue almost 200 plus.
The Katsina State Commandant of the agency urged people of the state to provide them with useful information for prompt action. In Katsina, Awal Halliru, NTA News.
Suleiman in Kaduna has more on Nationwide. Hello, Suleiman.
Lami and welcome. Kano State Government will partner professional organizations and other donor agencies in tackling heart-related ailments. Governor Abba Yusuf stated this during flag off of free open heart surgery for less privileged in the states. Abdullah Mustafa has the details.
An assessment tour of the Murtala Muhammad Specialist Hospital, the largest health facility in Kano State, was among Governor Abba Yusuf's first official engagements after his inauguration. While there, he assured of adequate attention to the health sector, especially the provision of special services to less privileged patients. Such special services seem underway as a partnership with Saudi Arabian government is providing free open heart surgery to patients in Kano State. 20 Saudi surgeons are teaming up with counterparts from the Aminu Kano Teaching Hospital to carry out the surgeries.
Whole procedure is going to be conducted free. This includes the admission of the patient, the assessment of the patient, the operations, and subsequent drugs and follow-up that's going to be given.
The present administration in Kano prioritize healthcare system than any other project in Kano.
Governor Abba assured that, in addition, the state government will partner professional and donor agencies in the areas of training and capacity building of medical personnel. In Kano, Abdullahi Mustafa, NTA News.
And the Jigawa state government and in the region of Niger Republic have signed bilateral cooperation of cross-border security, trade, pastoralism, and agriculture for socio-economic development of the two parties. Muhammad Musa Askira reports that the agreement was reached after 3 days of extensive meetings.
Meetings are superintended by Governor of Jigawa State, Mala Umar Namadi, represented by his deputy Aminu Usman Yakub and that of Zinda region, Lawali Amadou Madugu. The memoranda of understanding signed by the two parties were a follow-up to a series of bilateral engagements in the areas of boosting trade relations and infrastructure development along migratory Zinda routes to facilitate free movements of goods and services, particularly around the migratory export processing zone. Issues bordering farmers and herders disputes, transhuman movements in line with the ECOWAS protocol, and the pursuance of heavy economic relations between the two neighboring countries through the border states of Jigawa and Zindar were thoroughly discussed.
We are signing this agreement. We are going to have a control on the livestock that are coming into the country, and most especially those that are coming to spoil a lot of people's crops, and which are causing a lot of problems.
The essence of this agreement is to achieve cross-border of livestock movement without fear, to improve local markets and thereby economy between the two regions, and third, to favor social and cultural relationship within the two regions.
There are a lot of benefits ranging from the livestock, transform and human beings, goods and services, that are essential between the two countries.
The new MOUs, which focus on the 5-year action plan, are expected to control the seasonal activities of herders until when farmers in Nigeria are done with their harvest, improving the living standards of the border communities and accelerating economic activities for mutual benefits between the two countries through Jigawa and Zinta province. From Dutse, Muhammad Musa Askira, NTA News.
More reports ahead on the nationwide with Lamin Abuja after the break. With Lamin Abuja after the break.
Thank you for staying. Governments at all levels have been urged to create more enabling environments for Nigerian youths to harness the power of digital economy. This was the focus of discussion as the 16th Annual Youth Conference of Nasrullah El-Fatih Society held in Ibadan, the Oyo State capital. Kayode Oladosu has the details.
The fact that Nigerian entrepreneurs are mainly youths make promoting inclusion important to achieve positive productivity that will lead to economic growth in the country. It is on this note that the youth wing of Nasrullah El-Fatih Society, NASFAT, focused its 16th Youth Conference on the dexterity of Nigerian youths in entrepreneurship development of the country. Themed digital economy and youth entrepreneurship breaking new grounds. Youth were charged to think outside the box and generate groundbreaking ideas that will place them on the global map of technological innovation.
As good as this economy is, fantastic, as fantastic as it is, if you want to key into it, you must be prepared to go for training.
For the youth to be relevant in digital economy, they must do a few things. One is having the right skills, the right competence, the right knowledge about digital technology, about human empathy.
The conference afforded participants an opportunity to relay efforts made on digital economy.
We have also discovered that it's not just helping ourselves, but helping our community, helping our immediate environment, that whatever you earn can help you as an individual and help the economy.
We expect the youth to have formed a kind of liberation, to have had enough knowledge and becoming the best ambassador to the nation.
The conference is an annual event organized to empower young individuals, promote personal growth, and foster positive contributions to the society. In Ibadan, Kayode Oladosu, NTA News.
The Food and Agriculture Organization and other key players in the health sector seek urgent action on food safety in developing countries, including Nigeria. This is coming as the FAO marks this year's World Food Safety Day. Musa Baba Aliu brings us the story.
Healthcare service providers are of the view that
Sufficient amount of safe and nutritious food is key to sustaining life and promoting good health. They also believe that unsafe food contains harmful bacteria, viruses, parasites, or chemical substances that could cause more than 200 diseases, ranging from diarrhea to cancers.
The World Health Organization record shows that foodborne and waterborne diseases taken together kills more than 4 million people annually, including children.
And when we talk about food standards, we talk about good hygiene practices, good manufacturing practices, good storage practices, even good distribution practices. All these things are in line to ensure the safety of the food.
It is in the light of these that the United Nations Food and Agriculture Organizations, FAO, set aside a day to create awareness and sensitize the public on food safety. Leader for FAO's Emergency Center for Transboundary Animal Diseases, Otto Muhinda, calls for urgent steps to addressing issues around food safety, which he says could affect the country's economy, cause premature death and hunger. Musa Baba Aliyu, NTA News.
Driven by President Tinubu's administration's resolve to encourage agriculture, farmers in Enugu and other southeast states have stated their readiness to farm with vigor this 2023 cropping season to ensure bumper yield. Chidi Okorafor reports that to buttress the point, farmers in the southeast are cultivating more farmlands in this year's cropping season.
Over time, agriculture has been constrained by numerous challenges, such as rural-urban migration, poor agricultural inputs, and poor implementation of agricultural policies. It is against this backdrop that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, at his inaugural speech, declared his administration's support for agriculture by creating agricultural hubs across the nation to increase production. With the 2023 cropping season underway, farmers as well as stakeholders in Enugu and other southeast states have aligned themselves with the vision.
This is a certified maize seed from the National Policy on Food Security, which we got. So we try to spread it so that it's a way of fighting hunger.
We have land, we have farmers, we have people that are dedicated to work, farmers that are dedicated to work. There must be difference this 2023 cropping season.
They are very well prepared. In fact, so many of them have already gone into the farms, being supported by the ministry.
The farmers expressed joy for the farm inputs and other assistance given to them by the government.
I'm very, very happy. We've been longing for this for a long time, but by the grace of God, it has come to fulfillment today.
Assurance I'm giving to them is that they will use the input very well.
Many believe that Nigeria still has the potential to be food secure if it adopts and implements strategic measures for the peasant farmers to operate in their farming activities. In Enugu, Chidi Okorafor, NTA News.
More updates with Sadia in Sokoto. Good to see you, Sadia.
Joining us. Governor Ahmed Ali Sokoto has sought the support of stakeholders to tackle security challenges bedeviling parts of the state. He was speaking while receiving the General Officer commanding 8th Division Nigerian Army Sokoto, Major General Godwin Michael Mutkut, at the Government House. Zainab Said Abdul Nasser has more.
Dr. Ahmed Ali Sokoto describes security as everyone's concern, hence the need for collective effort to overcome banditry. He thanked the GOC for the visit and assured that his administration will give maximum support to security operatives in the state in terms of logistics to perform their duties effectively.
Security is one of my 9-point agenda. Therefore, this administration will leave no stone unturned to make sure that we secure peoples and their property in the states.
Major General Godwin Mutkut, who doubles as the commander, Joint Task Force Northwest Zone, Operation Hadarin Daji, said he is at the Government House to congratulate the governor on his swearing in and sympathize with the people of Sokoto State over the recent banditry attacks in some villages of Tangaza and Gwadaba local government areas. He assured that they will do whatever it takes to be on top of the situation.
We are not happy, and we've so far started with some operations. It's just a matter of days. We are going to get all those culprits. We are going to make sure they pay for what they've done.
A souvenir was presented to the governor by the GOC. In Sokoto, Zainab Saida Abdel Nasser, NTA News.
Sultan of Sokoto Muhammad Saad Abubakar has urged the Nigerian Air Force to accord high premium to fighting insecurity. The Sultan gave the advice when the newly posted Commander 119 Composite Group Nigerian Air Force Sokoto Air Commodore David Oluku paid him a courtesy call at the palace. The latter Abdullahi reports.
Sultan Muhammad Saad Abubakar described security challenges as a global concern, urging the Nigerian Air Force to play its role in tackling security threats in the state. He assured the newly posted commander that his doors are always open whenever seeking for advice. He said Sokoto is home for all. Muhammad Saad also called on him to follow the footsteps of his predecessor to accomplish the tasks ahead.
Always accord security the way we do. Feel free anytime you want to visit us, long as we're in council or even privately.
The newly posted Commander 119 Composite Group Nigerian Air Force Sokoto Air Commodore David Aluku said he is at the palace to seek for royal blessings. He appreciated Sultan's support and assistance to the command. Air Commodore David stated the determination to remain professional in fighting banditry and other security issues in the zone.
We all realize and have accepted as a nation that national security is citizen-centered, requiring whole-of-nation approach, and hence nobody will lag behind.
The new Commander 119 Composite Group Sokoto had served in different capacities, both at the Defense Headquarters and other commands. He was accompanied on the visit by senior officers of the command. In Sokoto, Dalhatu Abdullahi, NTA News.
And that's our contribution from Sokoto. It's now back to Lami in Abuja.
Thank you. The National Drug Law Enforcement Agency, NDLEA, has achieved notable successes in combating drug-related crimes. In Lagos, a secret methamphetamine laboratory was discovered in a residential community, leading to the seizure of the methamphetamine and precursor chemicals. Simultaneously, the NDLEA intercepted shipments of skunk and tramadol while conducting operations in various states, resulting in the seizure of illicit drugs and the arrest of individuals involved in drug trafficking. Now, Zamfara State Police Command says it is currently investigating a complaint about missing Zamfara State government vehicles. A statement issued by the police public relations officer in the state, Yazid Abubakar, appeals to members of the public with useful information about the missing vehicles to assist the police for the success of the investigation. The statement also notes that persons who feel their vehicles were wrongfully possessed while executing search warrants during the investigation are advised to produce proof of ownership to claim such vehicles, while stressing that members of the public will be duly informed on the outcome of the investigation. The command, however, warns people against spreading false information that can mislead the public and incite violence. Sports update is next. And that brings us to the end of Nationwide. We thank you for watching. Have a successful week ahead.